lighting like this? Stick till the end. Hey everyone, welcome back to Deep Blend Art. I'm super excited to have you all here for the fourth video in our The Art of Lighting series, where we dive deep into the art of lighting beyond just brightening a scene. Today, we're exploring loop lighting, a balanced, natural style that's perfect for creating relatable visuals in Blender. So let's get right to it and have some fun with light and shadow. Alright, let's dive in. So far, we've covered lighting styles like Rembrandt, which creates intense dramatic effects with strong highlights and shadows. We've also looked at butterfly lighting, which softens emotions and adds a gentle, flattering vibe. Then there's ring lighting, a marginal style that's great for sharp focus and emphasis. Today, we're focusing on loop lighting, a middle ground approach that balances drama and naturalness. The hallmark of this style is the shadow it casts, a small, loop-shaped shadow under the nose, creating a distinct feature. This happens because the light is positioned above the subject, angled between 30 to 45 degrees. Compared to Rembrandt, where the light is pushed more to the side for dramatic contrast, loop lighting brings the light closer to the face's center. This results in larger lit areas and fewer shadows, making the scene feel more natural and everyday. Unlike Rembrandt, which emphasizes drama, or Butterfly, which softens everything, loop lighting strikes a balance, giving a relatable, organic vibe that's perfect when you don't want your scene to feel too intense or too flat. Here's where things get really interesting: the role of light and shadow in shaping a scene's mood. Let's think about drama versus naturalness. In dramatic lighting like Rembrandt, shadows and highlights have high contrast and cover a wider area, creating intense emotions. But in loop lighting, the shadows are softer and less widespread, resulting in a more natural look. Why does this matter? It's all about contrast intensity, how sharp the difference is between light and shadow, and contrast spread, how much of the scene the shadows cover. High contrast intensity and a wide shadow spread amplify drama, while lower intensity and smaller spread, as in loop lighting, give a more natural, relatable feel. If you push contrast too far, you get a flat, raw look with no depth. Loop lighting keeps it balanced, avoiding extremes while maintaining visual interest. To really understand loop lighting, let's compare it with other styles using a collage of 5 identical portraits, each lit differently: flat, butterfly, loop, Rembrandt, and split. As we move from flat to split, the contrast spread increases. In split lighting, half the face is shadowed, creating maximum drama. Rembrandt covers about 30 to 40% of the face with shadow, still dramatic but less intense. Loop lighting has even smaller, softer shadows, giving a more natural look. By the time we reach flat lighting, shadows disappear, but so does the depth. Loop lighting stands out because it's the middle ground. It creates empathy and a natural vibe without being too dramatic or too soft. For example, if I'm lighting a crying character, I'd use Rembrandt for intensity. But for a casual conversation between two characters, loop lighting is my go-to for that everyday relatable feel. Now, let's get hands-on in Blender. I've got a scene with a character ready, and we'll use a sunlight for this setup. First, add a new sunlight and position it above the subject, angled about 35 to 40 degrees down. Rotate it around 60 degrees on the x-axis for the initial tilt. Then adjust the y-axis by about 10 degrees to fine-tune the angle. Finally, tweak the z-axis until you see that iconic loop-shaped shadow under the character's nose. You can adjust the light's intensity to your liking, higher for stronger contrast, lower for a softer effect. If you want to lean toward Rembrandt, shift the light slightly to the side to deepen the shadows. This setup gives you that natural balanced look we're aiming for. While the loop shadow is a hallmark in portraits, loop lighting works great for other objects too. Take a cat. Sorry, I meant a dog. Like in our earlier examples, with loop lighting, the dog's face looks natural with soft shadows that enhance its texture without overpowering it. Or consider a mug in a scene. Loop lighting gives it an even, clean illumination that feels organic and simple. In this video thumbnail, you see a character with a subtle loop shadow under the nose, creating that everyday vibe. If we shift to Rembrandt, the scene becomes more action-packed and dramatic. With Butterfly, it feels softer and almost mysterious. But with loop lighting, using a spotlight at 35 to 40 degrees, we get that natural balanced look. Even on non-human objects, the principle holds. Without the nose shadow, you still get a simpler, more natural lighting style. And that's a wrap on loop lighting in Blender. I hope this deep dive into its principles and practical setup has inspired you to experiment in your own projects. If you found this helpful, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to Deep Blend Art, and hit that bell to stay in the loop. No pun intended. Drop a comment with your thoughts or any cool lighting setups you're trying out. Thanks for watching, keep blending, and I'll see you in the next video.